Have you ever looked around and thought everyone is calculating, so why should I stay sincere? Have you ever felt like the world rewards the hard heart and punishes the gentle one? So why should I keep doing good? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about a thought that shows up in almost every human heart sooner or later. You see people cut corners. You see people take advantage. You see people refuse to help. And a question rises inside you like smoke after a fire. If they do not do good, why should I do good? The first idea I want you to hold is simple but life-changing. Their choices and your choices are not on the same karmic line. They are planting their future. You are planting yours. The second idea is even more practical. Doing good does not mean becoming a victim. True goodness needs wisdom and boundaries. Otherwise, kindness turns into resentment. And resentment becomes a new kind of suffering you never intended to create. So let us go slowly and make this real. Because this is not a lecture about being morally perfect. This is a talk about awakening, about wisdom, about karma and cause and effect, about compassion that is strong enough to survive disappointment, and about cultivation that slowly turns destiny in a lighter direction. I want to start with a scene that almost every working adult has lived. You do your job seriously. You show up on time. You handle problems. When a teammate fails, you help them fix it. When someone asks for support, you say yes, even when you are tired. You believe you are being kind and responsible. Then a strange thing happens. The lazy person gets credit. The loud person gets praise. The one who knows how to flatter gets promoted. And you, the one who actually carried the load, get told you should keep being a team player. Then you go home and use it on the couch and you feel heat in your chest. You replay the day. You imagine what you should have said. You imagine how you should have refused. You imagine how unfair it was. And finally you whisper the sentence that feels like self-defense. Fine, I will stop being good. In this world, only the ruthless win. That sentence feels like power. It feels like you are finally protecting yourself. But if you listen closely, that sentence has something inside it, a quiet grief. Because what you are really saying is, I am tired of being hurt. So let me ask you something gently. Are you truly tired of goodness? Or are you tired of being taken advantage of? Those are not the same thing. And if you confuse them, you might throw away the very thing that could save your heart from becoming cold. Now here is where karma becomes useful instead of mysterious. Karma is not a threat. Karma is not a superstition that says the universe will punish you. Karma is simply the law that every intention, every word, every action plants a seed. Seeds grow into habits. Habits grow into character. Character creates choices. Choices create results. Results create the conditions you live in. So when you ask, if others do not do good, should I still do good? You are really asking a deeper question. Should I keep planting seeds that lead to a clear mind and a warm life, even if I do not get immediate applause? And the honest answer is yes, not because you must be a saint, but because you are building a future you will have to live inside. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Aaron. He was known as the helpful one. When someone had to stay late, Aaron stayed. When someone had a family emergency, Aaron uncovered. When someone was behind on a project, Aaron fixed it. People said he was kind. People said he was dependable. People said the team would collapse without him. At first, Aaron felt proud. It felt good to be needed. But slowly, something changed. The requests became demands. The thanks became silence. The kindness he offered started being treated as a natural resource that could be mined without limit. Then the day came when someone pushed him too far. A co-worker made a mess, blamed Aaron quietly, and Darren got scolded by a manager. Not only scolded, his performance evaluation suffered. He lost a bonus. The co-worker who caused the problem stayed quiet and watched. That night, Aaron walked home in the cold. He did not cry like a child. He cried like an adult who realizes something painful. He realized that his kindness had not protected him. It had made him a target. He told a friend, "I swear I will never be a good person again." Now, it would have been easy to respond with a soft speech about kindness. But that is the kind of speech that makes wounded people feel even more alone. So his friend asked him one question. When you say you will stop being a good person, do you mean you will stop being kind? Or do you mean you will stop being stepped on? Aaron went silent because he knew the answer. He did not want to become cruel. He did not want to live with a hard heart. He simply did not want to be used. This is the moment where wisdom enters. In many spiritual teachings, patience is praised. But patience does not mean letting people harm you forever. Compassion is praised. But compassion does not mean you become a tool for someone else's greed. Real cultivation is not turning yourself into a doormat. Real cultivation is learning how to keep your heart warm without being foolish. It is learning how to help without feeding someone else's harmful habits. It is learning how to be generous without betraying your own dignity. So Aaron began to train something most people never learn. He trained wise compassion. He still helped people, but he stopped helping blindly. He asked clear questions before accepting extra work. He documented responsibilities. He learned to say no without anger. He learned to set boundaries without humiliating anyone. He learned that kindness without boundaries often becomes hidden fear. Fear of conflict, fear of being disliked, fear of losing approval. And this is a secret many people miss. Sometimes what we call goodness is actually people-pleasing. People-pleasing is not compassion. People-pleasing is a strategy to stay safe. It is the mind trying to avoid rejection. It looks like kindness, but inside it is anxious. When Aaron recognized this, his life began to change. At first, some co-workers reacted badly. They called him selfish. They said he changed. They said he was not a team player anymore. Aaron felt the old fear rise, but he stayed steady. He reminded himself, "I am not refusing goodness. I am refusing exploitation." Slowly, something unexpected happened. The people who truly respected him started respecting him more. The ones who only used him drifted away. His work became clearer. His mind became calmer. He had fewer resentful nights. That is what happens when goodness becomes wise. It stops creating new bitterness. Now let us come back to the bigger question. If others do not do good, why should you? Because their path and your path are not the same road. Imagine you are walking down a street and someone throws trash on the ground. Do you also throw trash because they did? If someone runs a red light, do you also run it because they did? If someone cheats and steals, do you also cheat and steal because they did? Most people will say no. They will say, that is their choice. They will face their consequences. I will face mine. This is exactly how karma works. You are not responsible for what others plant. You are responsible for what you plant. But there is another layer. Many people think they are quitting goodness to protect themselves. But what they are actually doing is training their mind to become suspicious, bitter, and cold. And a cold mind is not safer. A cold mind is heavy. It becomes lonely. It cannot trust. It cannot rest. It interprets kindness as manipulation. It turns every relationship into a transaction. Then, even when support appears, the mind cannot feel it. So the deeper value of doing good is not that others will praise you. The deeper value is that you are protecting the temperature of your own heart. Let me tell you another story that shows this clearly. One night, it was raining. A woman slipped on the street and fell. People walked past. Some looked away quickly. Some pretended not to see. It was late and everyone was tired and everyone had reasons. A young man stopped. For a second he hesitated because he had heard stories. Scams, accusations, trouble. He felt two voices inside him. One voice said, "Do not get involved. It is risky." Another voice said, "She is hurt. If you walk away, your heart will become a little colder tonight." He chose the second voice. He helped her sit safely. He made sure she was not bleeding badly. He called a ride for her. She thanked him quickly, then left. She did not give him money. She did not offer rewards. She did not promise anything. The scene ended and nobody clapped. Later his friend asked him, "Was it worth it?" The young man thought for a long time and said, "I did not help her for praise. I helped because I did not want my heart to become the kind of heart that steps over suffering." That line is worth carrying because it reveals the real treasure of goodness. Goodness is a way of protecting your inner humanity in a world that can easily numb it. Now let us address the most painful part. What if you do good and people still hurt you? What if they take advantage? What if they treat your kindness as weakness? This is where many people misunderstand karma. They think, if karma is real, if I do good, why do bad things still happen? Here is the truth. The difficult things happening today are often the fruit of older seeds, older habits, older conditions. That does not mean you should stop planting good seeds now. It means you must be patient with the timing of growth. Think about money. If you work careless with money for years, and today you decide to build financial order, you still have debt to pay. The debt is the fruit of old causes, but if you stop paying bills because it hurts, your future becomes worse. The wise action is to pay old debt while building new discipline. Karma is like that. You may face old results while you plant new causes. Both can be true at the same time. So doing good is not a guarantee that life will never challenge you. Doing good is a guarantee that you are moving your life toward a cleaner direction. A cleaner direction creates better outcomes over time. But you must do good with wisdom. Otherwise, you confuse goodness with foolish sacrifice. And then you develop resentment. Resentment is the poison that turns kindness into bitterness. So how do you do good with wisdom? You begin by changing your inner expectation. Many people do good while secretly demanding immediate repayment. They help, then they watch. They give, then they wait. They are not waiting with calm. They are waiting with tension. When repayment does not come, they feel insulted. They feel used. Then they say, "I will never do good again." In that case, the pain is not only about others. The pain is also about the hidden transaction in the mind. Real goodness is not a transaction. Real goodness is a vow. It says, "I choose not to add harm. I choose to plant seeds of compassion and integrity. I choose to live in a way that I can respect in the mirror." When you do good from that place, you do not become weak. You become free, because you are no longer controlled by the need for applause. Now we can talk about boundaries again, because boundaries are the bridge between compassion and self-respect. Let us imagine a common family situation. A relative constantly asks you for money. They do not change their habits. They do not take responsibility. They just ask. Each time you say yes, you feel anger later. If you keep saying yes, you are not practicing compassion. You might be feeding their dependency, and you are feeding your resentment. That is two kinds of suffering created at once. Wiser compassion might say, I care about you. I will help you in ways that support your growth, not your self-destruction. I will not give cash that feeds the problem. I can help you find resources. I can help you plan. I can support you if you are willing to change. That is compassion with a gate. Compassion as the root. Skillful means as the gate. This is not cold. This is wise. It reduces suffering in the long run. Now let us return to the main question again, but from a new angle. When you see others not doing good, you might feel like goodness is losing, but you are measuring goodness by short-term wins. Spiritual wisdom invites you to measure by long-term consequences. A person who lies might get a quick advantage today, but lying builds fear. Fear builds tension. Tension builds more selfish choices. More selfish choices build unstable relationships. Unstable relationships create isolation. Isolation creates anxiety. That is a long chain. A person who cheats might gain money quickly, but cheating builds distrust. Distrust returns. It returns as people avoiding them, suspecting them, guarding against them. Their world becomes a world of locked doors. Even if they are rich, their life feels unsafe inside. A person who uses others might rise fast, but they create hidden enemies. They create resentment in others. That resentment eventually becomes obstacles, lost support, lost reputation, or simply the emptiness of living without genuine connection. Meanwhile, a person who practices integrity builds something invisible but real: trust, stability, inner peace, a clean conscience. These are blessings that make life smoother. They do not always shine on social media, but they shape the quality of your days. So when you ask, why should I do good? Here is an answer you can feel. Because you are building the kind of life you can breathe in. Now let us go deeper into the psychology of this. Because many people do not quit goodness because they are evil. They quit because they are disappointed. Disappointment is a kind of suffering that comes from expectation. You expected the world to reward your kindness immediately. You expected people to be fair. You expected gratitude. You expected protection. When that does not happen, you feel betrayed. The answer is not to become cold. The answer is to become awake. Awakening means you see people clearly. Some people are grateful. Some people are selfish. Some people are wounded. Some people are afraid. Some people take advantage because they never learn it another way. Seeing clearly does not mean you excuse harm. It means you stop being surprised by human behavior. When you stop being surprised, you stop being dragged around emotionally. You respond with wisdom. Wisdom asks, what is the most skillful action here that reduces harm and protects my mind? Sometimes that action is helping. Sometimes that action is refusing. Sometimes that action is helping in a different way. Sometimes that action is stepping back. Sometimes that action is speaking truth. Sometimes that action is silence. As long as the root is compassion and the mind is awake, you are cultivating. Now I want to tell you a longer story, because I want you to hear how karma plays out across time, not just in one scene. There was a woman named Claire. Claire was the kind of person who noticed suffering. She noticed when someone looked lonely. She noticed when a co-worker was overwhelmed. She noticed when a neighbor needed help. She did not do huge dramatic charity. She did quiet kindness, a meal, a ride, a supportive message. a small favor. But Claire had a problem. She could not say no. She believed no meant she was selfish. She believed boundaries meant she was not compassionate. She believed being good meant always giving. Over years, that belief shaped her fate. She became exhausted. She became resentful. She became secretly angry at the people she helped. She began to feel that the world was unfair because she gave and others took. One day, she had a breakdown. She did not collapse in public. She collapsed in her kitchen at midnight while washing dishes. She looked at her hands and thought, "Why am I doing this? I wanted to be good. Why do I feel so bitter?" She started listening to teachings on karma and cultivation, and she heard a sentence that changed her. Doing good is not the same as being used. Compassion is not the same as fear of conflict. She realized that her kindness was mixed with attachment. She was attached to being seen as good. She was attached to being needed. She was attached to avoiding disapproval. Attachment creates suffering even when the action looks noble, because attachment makes your goodness dependent on others' reaction. When others do not react the way you want, your goodness collapses into pain. So Claire began a new practice. She practiced giving with clarity. She asked herself before helping, "Am I helping from love or from fear?" If it was fear, she paused. She did not shame herself. She simply paused. She breathed. She let the fear settle. Then she decided again. Sometimes she still helped, but when she helped, she did it with a cleaner mind. She helped because it was the right thing, not because she needed approval. Sometimes she refused. And when she refused kindly. She did not justify. She did not argue. She simply said, "I cannot do that. I hope you find a way." At first, some people reacted badly. A few disappeared. A few called her selfish. It hurt, but something else happened too. Her life began to have space again. She rested more. She slept better. Her patience returned. Her bitterness decreased. And here is the karmic part that people often overlook. When her mind became less resentful, her speech became softer. When her speech became softer, her relationships became warmer. When relationships became warmer, support appeared more naturally. When support appeared, life became smoother. Goodness did not ruin her fate. Confused goodness did. When goodness became wise, fate began to turn. Now let us talk about the fear many people have. They say, "If I keep doing good in a world like this, will I always lose?" No. You may lose some short-term games, but you will win something deeper. You will win freedom from the kind of inner poison that destroys life from the inside. Here is a truth that is not popular but is real. Many people who look like they are winning are suffering inside. They are winning money but losing peace. They are winning status but losing trust. They are winning arguments but losing love. They are winning control but losing warmth. And you cannot enjoy a life you cannot feel. Goodness is not about appearing pure. It is about building a mind that can feel life with clarity and compassion. That mind is the foundation of happiness. Now I want to speak about compassion again, because compassion is often misunderstood. Compassion is not naive trust. Compassion is not letting people harm you. Compassion is the intention to reduce suffering. Sometimes reducing suffering means helping someone directly. Sometimes it means letting them face consequences so they finally wake up. Sometimes it means refusing to participate in their harmful patterns. A compassionate person can say no. A compassionate person can walk away. A compassionate person can set a boundary. The difference is the inner tone. The tone is not hatred. The tone is clarity. Now let us connect this to the idea of destiny becoming smoother. The original question suggests that when you understand karma, life becomes more and more smooth. But what does smooth mean? It does not mean no problems. It means fewer self-created disasters. It means shorter storms. It means faster recovery. It means better relationships. It means more trust. It means more inner stability when life changes. And this is exactly what karma-based cultivation produces. It produces a mind that sees consequences earlier. When you see consequences earlier, you stop doing the thing that creates suffering. For example, if you know that harsh speech destroys harmony, you hold your tongue earlier. That prevents a fight. That prevents a cold week at home. That prevents mistakes at work caused by emotional tension. That is smoothness. If you know that dishonesty creates fear, you choose honesty earlier. That prevents the complicated web of lies. That prevents the anxiety of being exposed. That prevents relationship breakdown. That is smoothness. If you know that resentment poisons your mind, you practice forgiveness earlier. That prevents years of inner torture. That prevents turning into the kind of person who cannot enjoy kindness. That is smoothness. So yes, when you seek karma clearly, life becomes smoother because you stop building problems with your own hands. Now I want to speak to the moment where people feel most tempted to quit goodness. That moment is when you feel it is unfair. You did the right thing and you still suffered. This is where spiritual maturity is needed. If you only do good when it benefits you immediately, then your goodness is not stable. It is a business deal. When the deal stops paying, you quit. Stable goodness comes from a different place. It comes from a vow to live awake. It comes from a commitment to protect your conscience. It comes from the desire to keep your heart human. This kind of goodness is not weak. It is strong because it is not controlled by conditions. Now I want to show you something very practical you can do the next time this question rises in you. The next time you think, why should I do good when others do not? Pause and ask yourself 3 quiet questions. What kind of person do I become if I stop doing good? What kind of world do I live in if my heart becomes colder? What kind of future am I planting if I respond to darkness by becoming darker? You do not need long meditation to answer. Your body already knows. Most people, when honest, do not want to become cruel. They want to become safe. That is a very different goal. So the skill is to become safe without becoming cruel. How do you do that? You practice goodness with boundaries. You practice compassion with wisdom. You practice generosity without self-betrayal. You practice patience without enabling harm. This is the middle path that turns fate without destroying your heart. Now let me speak about something many people feel but do not say. When you keep doing good and others do not, you may feel lonely. You may feel like you are the only one trying. You may feel like kindness is pointless. This loneliness is real, and it is one reason people become bitter. They feel isolated in their values. But here is what I have seen again and again. When you keep your integrity, you eventually attract people who value integrity. When you keep compassion, you eventually meet compassion. When you keep wisdom, you begin to see wise opportunities that you would have missed in a bitter state. The world is larger than your current circle. If your current circle rewards selfishness, it does not mean the entire world does. It means you may need to cultivate and also choose your environment more carefully. Sometimes the most karmic action is not only doing good, it is also choosing where you place your energy. If you keep pouring energy into a place that only uses you, you will burn out. That burnout will make you hate goodness. So choose wisely. Now I want to move into a closing reflection that many of you will feel deeply, because it touches the part of you that has been hurt. If you have been taken advantage of, it can feel humiliating. It can feel like you were foolish. It can feel like you betrayed yourself. It can make you want to become hard so nobody can hurt you again. I want to tell you something that may bring relief. Being kind was not your crime. Being unaware of your boundaries was the lesson. And lessons are not punishments. Lessons are the path of awakening. You can grow from this without turning your heart into stone. You can become more discerning without becoming cynical. You can become stronger without becoming cruel. I have seen people do it. I have seen someone who used to give everything learn to give wisely. I have seen someone who used to explode learn to pause. I have seen someone who used to gossip learn to protect speech. I have seen someone who used to resent learn to forgive. None of those people became perfect, but their lives became smoother because they stopped leaking energy and stopped planting conflict. Their destiny shifted because their causes shifted. And sometimes the shift is so quiet, you almost miss it. One day you realize you are fighting less. You are apologizing faster. You are sleeping better. You feel lighter when you wake up. You feel less fear in your chest. You feel less bitterness when you see someone else succeed. These are signs of karma turning. Now let me share a relatable example from people I have watched over the years. There was someone who always said yes to family demands. They were exhausted. They felt unseen. They were angry but could not show it because they wanted to be good. They started listening to teachings about compassion. At first, they thought compassion meant saying yes even more. That made it worse. Then, they learned a different compassion. Compassion for themselves. Compassion that says, I will not create resentment in my heart. I will speak honestly. I will set a boundary kindly. They began saying no sometimes. The family complained. The family tried to pressure them back into the old role. It was uncomfortable, but they stayed steady and respectful. Months later, the family adjusted. Not perfectly, but enough. And the person said something that sounded simple but carried deep truth. They said, I thought boundaries would destroy love, but boundaries actually protected love from turning into hatred. That is the kind of wisdom that changes destiny. So if you are listening right now and you feel like goodness only makes you lose, I want you to remember this. Goodness without wisdom can create suffering. Wisdom without goodness can create coldness. But goodness with wisdom creates freedom. It creates a life where you do not have to hate yourself to survive. It creates a life where you can protect your heart and still be human. It creates a life where you do not become the very darkness that disappointed you. Now let us land this in one final image you can carry. Imagine you are walking through a storm. Many people around you throw mud at each other. They curse. They push. They fight for small ground. You might be tempted to join them because you think that is how you survive. But there is another way. You walk with awareness. You protect your steps. You help when it is wise. You refuse when it is necessary. You do not add more mud to the storm. You keep your inner lamp lit. That lamp is your conscience. That lamp is your compassion. That lamp is your karma awareness. That lamp is your vow to awaken. When you keep that lamp lit, you may not win every short argument, but you will build a life that is easier to live inside. And that is the victory that matters. Now I want to invite you to share something in the comments. Have you ever felt punished for being kind? Have you ever decided to become harder because you were tired of being hurt? And if you could go back, what boundary would you set so you could stay good without being used? If you want more long-form talks like this, Subscribe to the channel. Like the video so it reaches someone who is quietly struggling with the same question and does not want their heart to become cold. And if you want to support the channel so we can keep making deeper long teachings about awakening, wisdom, karma, compassion, cultivation, and destiny, consider becoming a member. Thank you for spending this time with me. Do not follow the crowd into darkness. Follow wisdom into clarity. Choose goodness with boundaries. Keep your heart warm and your mind awake. And watch how, step by step, life becomes smoother. At the end of the day, we all need something that brings us back to ourselves. Something that reminds us to slow down, breathe, and stay centered. Simple bracelet can do exactly that. Every bead you touch brings your mind back to calm, back to clarity, back to the present moment. If one of the bracelets you just so resonates with you, you can find the purchase link in the video description and explore more beautiful styles in our channel store. Let the one meant for you find its way to your wrist.